Hello. I'm going to be doing a commentary to the Batman. So I have the Warner Brothers logo just popped up, and I'm going to hit play in 3, 2, 1. All right, we're into the movie. So the Batman 2022 is a really important movie to me. It came out at a time where I needed some, I don't know, motivation, and I really thought this movie was really cool and special. I like that we open up with Riddler being kind of awkward and breathing, and you can hear it to me. He sounds like he's nervous. He's just kind of fumbling through his first crime we see. Um, I love the music of Maria for the Riddler's theme. It kind of gives me like a Danny Elfman kind of vibe. And we see the mayor's son in his ninja outfit fighting crime or bad guys, and he's so innocent. I love hearing the kid scream when he goes to look, and I like that we see the mayor have, before we find out what a scumbag he is, we find out he's also a very loving dad. He's playing with his son, and the big hug we see they do here in a second. But I just want to make clear that um, this little boy is not Robin. Okay, he's never going to be Robin. He's not Robin. He is Bruce. To me, I mean, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but the little boy is Bruce. You know, I almost half expected parts of this movie to have um, Bruce say that he can't believe it's happening again. So we see the cracked skylight. Now, I always kind of thought that the Riddler took out the mayor first because he was the biggest at the moment in this story. He is the biggest target. And the mayor being challenged by a young incumbent. I love it. She's clearly a progressive, and she's fighting for the people. And you can see the mayor's study also gives a lot and shows his history with the city when it shows the Maroney bust and a mass vigilante running the streets. This is a really great review. I remember when I saw this in the theater opening night. Well, it opened early, so I saw the early screening, and the Riddler reveal here made people gasp. Because I like that you don't see him until the TV pops up. They hide that reveal for another second, and I really feel like you can feel Paul Dano's face behind the mask, where he's just got like this really just disgusted look on his face, like, you know, he's ready to kill him. And obviously, this Riddler interpretation has a lot to do with the Zodiac killer, which is, I think, a good parallel, because I think that's one thing that makes Riddler's costume or his Riddler identity creepy is it's homemade. Someone who will tell the people the truth, and then he attacks them. I like that it's awkward. He's clearly, you know, having a rush. And it's just so still. He's got to calm down. And I also think this makes the Riddler a pretty big coward, too. The way he attacks him from behind. And I know why he did it, to not, raise alarm and to get away with the murder. Oh, I love the weight of that, too. This carpet tool. It kind of looks like a bone or something. And then this creepy, and apparently I want to really mention the Paul Dano right here is this weird breathing he's doing. this exhaling, it's him screaming. His character finally screaming and getting the revenge for his life that has been decided for him. I love the crack of thunder too, to divide the characters. I think this opens up with a monologue from Bruce that's perfect because we're in Batman's head, in the comics. We're in knowing what he's thinking is a big part of that. And I think Robert Pattinson did a great job. I like these creepy costumes too, and him in the middle as the drifter. It makes sense. I love the look of Gotham here. It feels obviously like Blade Runner, but you know, its own thing. To me, it actually feels like Gotham for the first time. I like all the rain here too. It really sets the mood. I love the strop head. It's like creepy candy. I think that the idea of fear in in the Batman can't be everywhere is a great thing to play on when they're scared of the dark is what I really appreciated about this. Puts all the anarchy going on and him talking about how he's got to pick his targets carefully. I think is really cool. He can't just go out and bash anybody. He's got to be a ghost. Let me see the reveal. He's half initiated into the club. This is also not Nightwing, you weenies. This is just a kid who's not made a decision yet. We see the Drifter turn into the Batman. The eye makeup is great. No reason to hide from it. It's part of his identity. I really liked Gordon in this. Uh, he was great. I like their teamwork. Still like the look of Gotham here. The music also is very good. It's very haunting and it builds. And I love choppers. I love choppers in Batman movies. Choppers and blimps. Um, this is great. They look down the alleyway, and I swear to God, this taxi driver is fucking Bill Burr. It sounds just like him. Tell me I'm wrong. It sounds just like him. But yeah, the choppers checking out the bad guys. I don't know if that's the police or the news, but I like the different little factions you can see in the city. You have your little anarchist guys, and then you have your drugged out burglar, who I think represents Joe Chill a little bit. But and I do like that they're still holding on the reveal of the Batman, and this train sequence here just makes me think of like Ninja Turtles. Because this movie does have a very New York and Chicago vibe, which is cool. It's perfect to meld them. This guy getting preyed upon, and the cell phones recording it. I mean, that's hey man, social media was a big part of this movie. And the guy not getting away, crying for help. And I don't believe that this gang here, is affiliated with anyone. I think they're just some street thugs on Halloween. Um, it's hard not to watch it. The stomping is great because he's making that choice. the look down here, and I think the look on Bruce's face is very important here. When we see the Batman, he's very serious, but he looks like he's on the verge of tears too. Kind of reminds me of like Seth Bullock from, excuse me, from Deadwood, but he also kind of reminds me of the Terminator. And I've said that before because his music kind of has the same kind of like droning bell, and he just kind of gets shot all the time, keeps going. What the hell are you supposed to be? Oh, this Batman punches everybody on vengeance. Holy shit, it's him. Okay. So he's not just some random trick or treater or citizen in a costume. This is the guy that's got a reputation for beating the shit out of everybody. Because I said this Batman punches everybody, and it's awesome. A lot of anger in Bruce in this one. A lot of quiet anger. People saying he's too emo and stuff. Well, Batman's emo, man. Oh, I love that he gets shot and the taser finger. I feel like this Batman takes it personally when he gets shot. Because I feel like his eyes get all big and he's like, "You motherfucker, you want me?" And then he just lets them all go. They go to the right, kid goes to the left. I like that Batman doesn't say shit. And this guy doesn't have any fucking idea if he's gonna get hurt. I love it. This is small crumbs leading towards the end when he makes the decision to be more than just vengeance. All right, the cops. These guys are great. I love the leather jackets and mustaches. They had a mustache thing on set where almost every cop has one, and then Matt Reeves himself grew one. I love the awkwardness of this and him being in the light a little bit, and everyone looking at him in it. But he's got his armor on too, so it doesn't bother him. So he can be completely objective. Rob called him like a shaman, which is a really good way to put it. Now we start to see people trusting Gordon. Everyone has like respect for Gordon. So if Gordon's vouching, it's okay. I love that he kind of stares him down. Martinez and the Batman have a good relationship. They have a good little arc. And like you can see how tall Rob is as Batman. I love the collar too around his neck. And the mayor. All the duct tape with Riddler is so personal and I don't know, it's so mundane. And I like that Riddler. I mean, here it's creepy, but it implies a lot more than showing like we don't need to see the back of his head to see, and I think that's a really cool way to do it. That's why I feel like this movie is kind of like a graphic novel. And I don't know if we've seen Batman on a crime scene before in a movie. Have we? Like doing this kind of work? That's serious? I like the music here. It's like classic horror. I really like his voice as Batman. That's the first dialogue we get of him. And I like that he whispers and like he has to like he's so not used to talking, he's got to kind of muster up some dusty breath and he's just combing the room. I love the sound of this leather and these heavy footsteps. And I love that the crime scene photographer takes pictures of Batman and what he's engaged with. And if you look when they're taking pictures of him, he kind of winces like the light's too much. I like that his suit is gray. And I think these cards are neat, just like the Zodiac did with certain things back in the day. But I think Riddler's handwriting is pretty neat. A lot of good artwork on this movie. Good art department. Because it all makes sense and has a consistent theme, just like the ciphers there look great. And I think the Mayor's Study has a very classic look too. Oh man, the commissioner's voice is awesome. What's going on, man? He sounds like a guy from The Godfather. Another guy sounds like him too, like a character from like the '70s Godfather or something, a '70s gangster movie. And you can see it's addressed to the Batman. The Batman's still looking at the scene and solves the riddle. I really hope that people pay attention to how much this Batman really is constantly solving um, everything. He's solving not only the crime, but I mean he's unraveling everything. But he's such a detective that's what I really wanted. And Matt Reeves, his writing is really good for it too. Everything makes again. I'll probably say this a lot, but everything makes sense. And I like this "Happy fucking Halloween" line because I think Bruce's parents died on Halloween in this universe. So it's kind of an extra brutal fuck you. The guy looks like every district manager ever. Jeffrey Wright is Gordon again. Such a great voice. And I like right here. A little bloody footprint. The mayor's son. Ugh. Breaks me. See, this is mirroring Bruce. Bruce went through the exact same thing. Kind of want to know what he's thinking right here. Get a good look at his cowl though, and see that it's more skull-like, and the ears are pushed back further, and it's like that he's like hollowed out. It's cool. This whole Gotham, the vision of it feels just like a dank, wet basement in the dark. Bruce riding around again as the Drifter, putting on and off his armor as his night dictates. More of his monologue, which I think is great. I like that he's positive, but he just sounds so defeated already. Gotham Square, we'll see this like 100 times. Bruce is explaining. I like that he's saying that like even him, he's not making a difference, and he's taking justice into his own hands, from what we gather. The bridge is the famous one in Chicago. I like that we get a. I like that Wayne Tower is in that Bruce lives in the city in this, and he goes through these tunnels and abandoned, you know, train whatever stations, and I like that he can at a moment's notice he doesn't have to leave the countryside. He's in the heart of the city, which makes sense for this Bruce, because he's both Wayne and an Arkham, Prince of the City. And bat cave is neat. It looks cold, like it looks very surgical. And it took me a while to realize how he sees in the dark because I'm an idiot, and he can with his contacts. He's not too gadget happy in this movie, but these are neat. He carries a computer around, kind of looks like a boombox. It makes me laugh, but I dig it. This is great. He would absolutely keep a journal, and I like that you can see his hands taped up and is all bloody, bruised. And the cave gives hints of what's been going on. Like, to me, the bullets on the table show that he's been testing out his armor, making sure it can withstand all the, you know, getting shot. And you can see the Batmobile is, kind of in its infancy and it's starting to wake up. You see the pieces laid out. Little Brucey still loving his Nirvana. I like the way he turns down the music. And again, the eye makeup, it all makes sense. It's because he's been sweating, and I think it looks cool. I think it looks like war paint. The really gothic look they went for too is really apparent in this movie, and it works. Andy Serkis as Alfred doesn't get a lot of screen time, but seems very capable. That's why I like him. I heard it was between him and Pierce Brosnan, and I obviously think Pierce dropped out to do that Black Adam movie as he's Doctor Fate, and he looks cool. But in this, you end up going with the storyline of Alfred being British intelligence, British intelligence, and after he was hired to do security for the Waynes and feels guilty that they died under his watch, and the only thing he could teach Bruce to do is defend himself. So that's how Bruce learned to fight, was from Alfred. So this is Batman's year two, and this is the first time he's really getting an idea that someone can be inspired by him, but in the wrong way. So the accountant's coming right here when he says, it's no longer have anything left." I think that's obviously both financially and physically. And Bruce is very serious here. And let's be clear that every Batman is suicidal, especially this one, because it's always that they're always just making it, thinking at any moment. And their back and forth is pretty good here too, where it feels so strained. Another thing too is Bruce doesn't get touched a lot in this movie, except for Selina, which I'll mention when it happens, but nothing from Alfred. And then he sees the mayor's son, and it just breaks him. I really like the scrambled audio of the contact lens gadgets. This is kind of cool. This reminds me of comics where you can see Bruce's back is all mangled from fighting and getting shot, and I think it reminds me of it's either a comic or a painting I saw where Catwoman sees his back all scarred up and she's horrified by it. Fruit bat. He talks so softly. I like it. I really like that Alfred's going to town on this thing. Again, he seems capable and smart, and I hope he has more to do in the next one. I even like how someone who's trained in special, intelligence is looking at this being like, this is actually pretty fucking hard, man. Oh, thank you, Dory. Got to put away that. And I love how they just kind of just ignore the business meeting, so you don't know what's going on at all at Wayne Enterprises, which is fine. Again, we see Bruce figuring out the puzzle because he's obsessive and is always thinking about him. Very simple technology, like, nothing is, you know, this Batman doesn't feel overpowered to me, and I love this music. It's a cool reveal, and again, Gordon and Batman together is really cool. It should be the beginning of showing how corrupt he is. I mean, this fucking guy's got like 8 Ferraris. What a dick. Another good look at Rob's armor. I think it's cool. When you see, yeah, it's like a gardening shear or some shit, and he used that to cut off the mayor's thumb. That's fucked up, dude. That took a couple of crunches. The black light I thought was a cool effect. It's just like seeing his stuff on his belt he's using. Looking for a USB. I like that it kind of reminds you that it's modern day. This is great. He's so awkward as Batman, but so like direct. It's unintentionally funny. Yeah, looks like a toe. I always love movie computer stuff. This one, it looks somewhat what I would say would be realistic. Gordon has such a good voice. I like how he just sounds like he's over it all the time. This is kind of cool. Now you can kind of see like the mayor being a piece of shit and kind of we get some looks of Penguin looking like an 80s gangster. I love it. Looks like Joe Pesci and Tony Soprano. Man, that girl's face is messed up. That's so awful. I like the idea that Riddler put a little thing on his computer to send it all out to embarrass him. I like the idea of Riddler being a hacker more than anything. It just makes more sense. You never get in there without a warrant. This is a perfect example of why the Batman works because like the renewal plan was supposed to be, you know, getting stuff directly to the hands of people he's directly helping without having to go through any kind of bureaucracy. I want to see the penguin. Close the door. I love it. He stands there, knowing they'll open it back up. And they're twins. That's so funny. Little Chads. Kind of into that club music though, because when I saw this in the IMAX, man, that was like thumping. Oh, Batman just punches the shit out of everyone. Get the fuck out of my way. Didn't pay the club fee. I love how confidently he walks in towards the camera, pushing people out of the way. I like that this Batman is confident, and I really feel like you understand that he feels comfortable only as Batman. Oh, this is so cool. I feel like he's in some German discotheque. Oh man, I think if people saw like someone dressed as Batman in the club, I'm talking about just because the music's loud. They'd be into it. Like if I saw that at the club, and I'd be like, I don't know what's going on, but kick their ass. And this is again, look at all this fucking in frame fighting. So good. Ooh, oh, the baseball bat. God damn. So pissed off. He got shot by a shotgun, and here we see his grapple for the first time. His little taxi driver, little grapple gun. And I didn't mention it, but you could see Penguin behind him, like waddling down to like get to him before he beats the shit out of anybody else. But this is a really good encounter. His tuxedo looks fantastic. He's so ugly and handsome. Oh, I love it. This movie has, to me, a certain kind of class to it too, like kind of like a Chris Nolan, but it's like an older kind of class, like a '40s kind of thing, which works. Selena Kyle. Oh, she's so wonderful. She's so wonderful. Zoe Kravitz. I She is my favorite interpretation of Catwoman. She's cute, capable, fierce, vulnerable, caring, and I like that she's just. The Penguin's like, yeah, I'm just gonna do a drug deal right in front of the Batman. That looks kind of cool. She keeps checking him out, and you can see she's trying to get information on her girlfriend. I think they said that they're together because in this she's bisexual, which is cool. She was in the comics. I like how the waddle thing was so funny. Wait, this is great. Look at that. It already feels classic. This, I kind of like that the penguin backs down though, because he smartens up to it. That's why he kind of survives. I think he's just gonna be a little shit. He's great. I love that the Batman also doesn't give a shit who he is. He's got the best lines in the movie. Just when I check. Oh, he's so gross. Again, look at him. Boots. It's just on to the next obsessive. I think it's the thing I like about Batman is he's a control freak, and we can see the Riddler up in the upper left-hand corner taking pictures. If you couldn't tell from the pictures that they were just looking at, so much rain. The old looking taxi, I love it. And then there's Bruce. I think that the motorcycle is my favorite, I think, vehicle that Batman cruises on. He's got a two in this movie, and I like her nails real quick. But going back to the motorcycles, you can see Bruce in the back behind her, still following her. I mean, I know it's obvious, but it's just really nice camera work. Because like inside the cab, you kind of feel all out of the rain finally, and but Bruce is still out there not caring in the elements, and I like this noise too. When he opens the binocular, there's a little. Well, that didn't sound like it at all, but I like that sound. It's Batman's creep. I like that Selena's apartment looks like shit. It's cool though. It's a Rockford apartment. Catwoman would live above CJ's. I just realized that no one knows what that is, but I like that you see that she's taking care of, you know, her girlfriend, and that she's trying to make it right, and she's trying to help her out. Good music too. I like that we get a little glimpse of her little, her like little Catwoman tool closet. So this is her year one, and then we see the infancy of her character's outfit, and the boots are such a great touch. I like her little half mask that she wears, and her little. The apartment's a mess, but the wall back there is all organized and stuff. So I like that. She's putting that shit on. She looks fucking pissed, dude. Oh, it looks great. I also like that everything in this world seems worn. It's got some mold on it. So this mirrors too. Riddler looking at the mirror. Fuck those stairs. Bruce is like, oh shit. So Selena also rides a motorcycle, which I think is really cool. I like the sound of this light. For some reason, I feel like that light would be really hot. I don't know. I'm weird. This is cool. These pickups I know were done in Chicago that we just saw. And then again, we see the Gotham Square Garden. And so here, Selena's going to go get Annika's passport from the mayor's office. And so far, the Batman thinks that, Killer used a skylight. So he thinks it's her. But we see her cool little thieving skills. I like the way this is shot. So classy. Oh, so cool. Again, it's what makes me think of Selena being so capable. I like that shot. I remember that from the trailer of the light on her eye. And then Batman coming out of nowhere. He flexes grapple. That's awesome. And she's really trying to fight him, too. But I think she knows she can't beat him, but she's going to fight anyway. Fight for her friend. And he's got her. He seems so, interested in her. Maybe someone like him. I like the way he speaks her name. Like he's not gruff with her. I like the way that he holds her here. It's a little awkward, but I think that you can tell that Selena, because of the music, it gives you, implies that she's kind of, to me, feeling kind of safe in his arms. Like she doesn't need it, but she kind of, I don't know. He's dangerous. He's good looking. Why wouldn't you like him? He can hold me. I do like the way they look together, though. I like how this guy's like, I'm not checking out the rest of this room. Fuck this. 100% gonna go out for a smoke break. Oh, she's so good. I like how unintentionally awkward and funny he is. Package your please. You fucking creep. I do like that he just hands it to her. Their motorcycles charging up, man. For some reason in the theater, I remember being like, this is loud as fucking shit. But they got to Annika. See, I have a hard time buying that Selena left her phone there because, I don't know. I don't know too many people that leave their phone and just like, yeah, fuck my phone. I don't need it. And they just go out for the night. Especially if she was gonna go do like a heisty job. I do like how she's panicking and Bruce just looks around and is getting a yep. Getting oh, here we go. This is great. The reveal of the Riddler to the world. I thought Paul Dano did a great job. I love the idea of the phone and being online because it makes sense. That's what people would do because you can hide behind that. We hear that the commissioner got fucking killed. This is cool. It feels awkward, but I like that. And I also feel like his voice changer gets less and less as the film goes on. And again, this kind of implies what he did to this guy. This is really cool. No more lies. I actually like you can hear his voice break through here. I feel like he's so mad it, like, goes beyond his, like, voice changer. Boy. I think that Paul said it like that, said goodbye strangely like that because of Zodiac doing that on a phone call, like, way back in the day during his, all the Zodiac stuff. So I think that's why Paul chose that is so he could sound a little thing to the Zodiac. The club within the club. Batman's such a fucking dork. Man, Gotham's still rocking those glass milk bottles. I like how Selena's making it very clear that she doesn't go down to the other part of the um the club to stay away from the gangsters. I like the touch that the cats like him. Oh, I like how sassy she is. And I kind of like that in a weird way she knows she's safe because I really don't think at this point Carmine would let anything happen to her. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he doesn't give a shit. They're obviously showing the Batman behind people's backs. He got let in like through the back door. So Pete and Gordon were partners before he became commissioner, and I like the idea that he knew his friend. He knew details. He worked out at night, because maybe he was self-conscious. And he told that to Gordon, so I like that. They're so crudely made. And they're dirty and they're gross, and Batman rocking that black light. In the greeting cards too, I was going to mention that they're supposed to be like vintage, like cards from back in like the 50s, 60s, and 70s. I like how Gordon is still like holding out that his friend isn't a giant piece of shit. But no, dude, he's corrupt. And I think this is when Gordon starts trusting Batman a little bit more.